You are expendable. Good morning, everybody. JT here, Serenity Farms prepping 4,096. That's the number of ancestors that it has taken for me and you to be here. Someone did those numbers, and anybody that is alive now in the 50 to and up range, 4,096 ancestors. I'm 62-ish. My ancestors, until 100 years ago or so, lived to about the average age of 35. The simplest thing could very likely be a death sentence back in the day. Let's say the Old West, Little House on the Prairie, and even further back. A simple cold could quickly turn into life-threatening pneumonia. A simple cut could easily get infected as you completed your chores, shoveling shit, cutting wood, digging in the gardens. A more serious cut, say splitting wood or just an accident, and you could likely lose the limb. In essence, ending your ability to survive if you weren't surrounded by people who could take up the slack. And then there were countless skirmishes and wars, or being stupid, like trying to steal someone's horse, which was a shoot-on-sight, hangable offense back in the day. We need to bring those back. So what's the point of this? Well, many years ago, a group of citizens decided that the tyranny we are quickly being ushered into, they didn't want to live under. And they rose up, staged some resistance, boarded some ships, and sailed away. Started a new life in this land we've come to know as America. The Democrats and the tyranny, corruption, treason, everything we see is laser focused on sending most of us back to those times of enslavement, meagerness, having to get by with almost nothing. Now, some people like myself who just want to be left alone, leave me with what I have, turn off my electric, I'll get by, just stay away and leave me alone. But they can't do that. They don't want us surviving on our own. Matter of fact, they don't want anyone they consider useless eaters. Why do you think during the scamdemic, plandemic, who was the largest group of people that were exterminated? The elderly in government-run nursing homes. Como, Whitmer, the tyrant in New Jersey, a couple other scumbags. They knew without doubt that sending elderly folks with multiple comorbidities and the flu or common cold into nursing homes would directly infect and exterminate all the other elderly folks in those homes. Cuomo himself likely murdered 15,000 people. What other people seem to be kicking off? That's right, sickly people, regardless of your age. The more comorbidities you have, the quicker you are leaving. But JT, what about all these great in-shape athletes? You know, part of the evil of this whole scheme is that people in fantastic shape pump blood faster, at a higher rate, and more, thus speeding up the process that these evil tyrants want to accomplish. This wasn't a strategy that was thought about on a weekend and implemented on a Monday, folks. If the Democrats get their way, if the cheat, because it is going to be a cheat, Camaho is going to be announced the winner regardless of what has actually happened. Either November 5th, that night, election day, or the next day, or within a day or two, they're going to announce that she's the winner. Knowing that she's not, counting on turmoil, chaos, anarchy, terror. Both sides will file their lawsuits regardless of who wins. No one will certify, and let the Summer of Love 2020 Part 2 begin. That will also eliminate a lot of people, especially the elderly. Excuse me. Now, it is very late in the game. Panic buying will start probably a day or two after an announcement of a Camaho victory. Get out now while you got a chance, because if you try and panic buy when you are suffering panic, it's not going to work. Don't try and get prepared for a few days or a few weeks. This is going to be months, maybe longer. Also, too late in the game is, do you live in or around people who think like you in a state that has many of your particular morals, values, ethics, and yes, your ideology? Because when this all goes down, and it will go down, wherever you are, the day they shut it down, lock it down, create a mass casualty event, whatever, the day that no one's allowed to move anymore, that's where you're going to be for a long time. I just see it going that way. I think a lot of people do. There's a lot of people coming up to me lately and saying they're afraid of what's going to happen. They're scared, and some of the things that I've been saying are really starting to hit home. I haven't been telling people these things to scare them and make them afraid. I've been telling them so they become aware and take the necessary actions, precautions to get prepared for exactly the things that I've been saying I believe are going to happen. You've been doing the same thing. Today I'm going to go make some final preparations. It's November 1st. It's the weekend. I need some small propane tanks to fill up. I got a couple gas cans, couple diesel cans to add to the collection. But I got to have them because that stuff is going to be... It's there may be some, but we just aren't going to be allowed to get it. So do what you can. And remember, they want to put us 200 years back. They don't want us moving forward. They want to move us backwards. The less we have, the more angst, the more anxiety, the more fear, chaos, anarchy. They will allow the internet and the TV and the radio and cell phones to work when they need it. And then it will be spreading more fear-mongering and hysteria to keep everyone living on the edge, afraid to leave their homes, to go to work, to live. And then they have control. All right, that's all I got. JT, signing out.